We're doing this. The Warriors is a 1979 American action thriller film directed by Walter Hill, written by David Shaber and Walter Hill, and starring Michael Beck, James Remar, Deborah Van Valkenburg, Marcelino Sanchez, David Harris, Todd McKittrick, Brian Tyler, Dorsey Wright, Terry Mitchell, David
You gonna read
Patrick
the fucking
Kelly,
Wikipedia article?
Roger Hill, Edward Sewer, and Lynn Thigpen. We have on the podcast today Mr. Deadmanpayne. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you boppers doing, man? Y'all ready to rumble?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got this, bro. We got this.
Hell yeah, man. Good to be here. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. So this week you've picked the Warriors for our watch of the week.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain what this movie is, what it's about, and why you picked it?
You know, The Warriors, 1979. You explained it pretty fucking well, man. It's a timeless classic. It came out and, like, it was review bombed, like, on release. It wasn't until, like, later on that it finally grew a cult status and whatnot. And, I mean, it didn't resonate with the critics then. Definitely resonated with the kids of the time. And I feel like it's timeless, you know? Like, no matter... You can be... like mid-20s, even like to your 40s, and still have like, it'll still resonate with you in some way, you know? It's a cult classic, man. And just the atmosphere, the mood, it hits all the marks. It has romance, action, suspense, you know? It's a product of its time for sure. And a win in like movie making, you know? They did it on a budget and like they made it work. So, you know, making something out of nothing type shit, you know?
Absolutely.
I can't find your fucking Discord. You gotta send me a link to your Discord so I can send it later.
Oh shit! All right. Here.
I have too many Discords.
I don't know if I'll exit the app, like if I'll like leave. I'm not sure.
No, it's all good. Just chill. It's all good.
Leave it.
I'll figure it out. This was a cool movie because they were trying to make a Western. Walter Hill, who made this film, who made another 48 Hours, and he made all kinds of very masculine, cool ass movies. He wanted to make a Western, and they wouldn't let him, but he made it work, and he just put it in a new setting, and it became a cult classic because there was all the movies up to that point about gangs were about how bad gangs are. But it was just like a very unique way to tell a story that was supposedly based on a Greek narrative from ancient Greece about a group of warriors that kind of like cruised around Greece. But
Walter Hill, he's quite a prolific producer. I mean, like his producer credits are basically the entire Alien series, and he wrote the third one. Obviously, that movie got kind of botched in the edit room in the producer room, but yeah, he's been around for a long time, and this is basically his big directorial. Is it his debut, or did he didn't do?
I couldn't tell you.
You know what?
So this is his third film. After Hard Times and The Driver, he made The Warriors.
Okay.
Yeah, and this was made in '79. And what I think is really interesting about this film is I get a lot of vibes of the '80s from it. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a '70s film to me. Like I watch this film and I get vibes of Friday the 13th. I get vibes of Escape from New York, stuff like that. Just the way the film is lit and shot, and just the vibes.
The music helps with that too.
The music as well, yeah. Obviously, '79 is right on the brink of the '80s, but this feels like a pre. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's before the real '80s aesthetic took off. It feels like this was a look into the future of what filmmaking was going to look like after The Warriors, essentially.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Definitely ahead of its time. Completely ahead of its time.
Absolutely.
I bet that John Carpenter,
a lot of stuff.
like John Carpenter's Escape from New York comes right to mind, right? It feels like he bid a lot of this movie, right?
Yeah. The heavy synth music, it's like synth rock. It was composed by Barry DeVorzen. I'm not too sure like his other works, but man, that dude killed it. He set such a like heavy atmosphere,
sinister,
with an umph. Yeah, and it has like
feels
that rock
dangerous
and roll type shit going on too.
Yeah. I really miss when movies had that really strong white backlight behind. Like you can see it just on this poster, like the backlit white backlit lights that they used in the 80s. Like you barely see that anymore in Hollywood. Like you look at a movie like Avengers Civil War or whatever. No, Captain America Civil War. It's all gray and you don't get that unnatural. Yeah, exactly. You don't get that really nice contrasty lighting that you get in the 80s like this.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned
like
that. There's a reason for the lighting being that way. The parks at night weren't lit up like that, so like they would put like white lights in the trees and then like spray the concrete down to give it like a reflection type shit to give it some like more atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason to the lighting like that. It's genius, man. They made it work, dude. Like that movie triumphant movie.
They get like huge walls of lights, right? Like it'd be if I'm not mistaken, like the way they do it is like behind them, they just like had this huge wall of like white lights behind the trees, and that's how they get the full backlight on them. I love it. It's one of my favorite aesthetics.
I feel like Mean Streets did something like that too.
Mean Streets,
one of the first Scorsese films with Harvey Keitel.
Classic. I love
that's like late night too, where the lights all janky, but it gives that eerie feeling like it's a bad dream or something with the music and everything going.
Yeah.
The other one I was thinking of was After Hours, which is also Scorsese, and that's an incredible Scorsese film. It's the same thing. It's set in New York. It's basically a night of horror in New York for this guy, and yeah, it just looks beautiful. I love this aesthetic, and I wish it would come back. Tom, how do you feel about The Warriors? Is this a film that you've seen before?
No, the only thing I knew about The Warriors is the video game.
Oh, okay.
Another classic right there.
Yeah, Deadmanpayne's played it a bunch of times, so I've seen it a lot. But when I was growing up, a friend of mine, he played these two games that were about properties that I didn't know existed, and one was Scarface, and the other one was The Warriors. So I didn't know anything about those things. I'm, teenager or whatever, and it looked fun. It looked cool, and that's pretty much it. That's all I knew. So I've always wanted to watch this movie. And yeah, I came away liking the movie. It's pretty good.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
It's different than what I thought it was going to be.
It's literally video games the movie, because so many movies are like biting off this, like, or so many games are biting off like the style, like every brawler, every like this was so important to like all these like young creators, right, at that stage, because it looks fucking weird because everyone is a gang. There's like a baseball gang, and like all the gangs are like very regimented, and it's like an alternate universe where the gangs are very well organized. And I love the opening scene where it looks like, they're gonna have like a union of the gangs and everyone's coalesce, and then the guy gets shot. We should talk about the plot, because the plot's really good.
Cyrus
gets shot.
Yeah, the plot kicks off. Basically, Cyrus, he brings all of the gangs together, and he's like, we need to come together and take on the police because we outnumber them. He's like, I know we all have our differences, like clearly, and you see the crowd, they're all dressed completely differently. But it's like, we need to come together and take on the cops, take on the police, because they've been oppressing us for too long. And then one of the gang members of one of the gangs, a rival gang to the Warriors, shoots the leader, Cyrus, who was he shot the
leader of the Rogues, David Patrick Kelly.
The Rogues. That's
assassinates Cyrus. It's an assassination, JC. It's not just a murder. It's an assassination. It's political. It's a political.
Yeah, it's political.
The police are there too. They're in on it too.
Burying the times,
Yeah, and everyone freaks out. No one knows who did it, and he blames it on the Warriors. He just picks a random gang and blames it on them. And then pretty much, and then the rest of the movie
Sandinistas, Kevin,
and that kicks off the plot. And then the rest of the movie is the Warriors just trying to survive the night, make it back to their
They got to make it back to Coney Island from the Bronx, so they have to
Exactly.
go all the way north Bronx to South Brooklyn Island,
That's into Brooklyn, they call it.
Yeah,
and then
The
they meet
orphans,
the
that's what they call it.
craziest lady. They meet the craziest lady in the whole world, right? And she
Mercy.
like at the jump, they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna like assault you." She's like, "Oh, cool," you know, like I guess she fights it off, but I don't. It's such it's like a weird scene, man. You know, it's like
she's kind of like thrown into the whole thing. You know, she was craving that excitement.
Yeah, there's a psychosexual edge to that whole fucking encounter. It's like, what is she? You know, it's like she knows what happens when you like show up in the night in the subway with a street gang, right? And she doesn't. She's like, well, okay, I'm gonna turn this into my favor, but she does.
About a train. I don't know.
So if I can ask this question,
a lot of trains in the movie.
Yeah, I haven't played the game. I played a little bit of it, but not a lot. But I know the intro of the game is the exact same as the intro of the movie,
more or less,
with the assassination. Yeah. So, does the game take place during the movie, or does it take place after the movie?
The fucking great thing about the game is it's one giant prequel. So like,
it's a prequel. Oh,
yeah. So you essentially play like months leading up to the whole movie.
Oh, okay.
So like, you really get to know these characters. They even have like flashback levels that really go deeper to like really, so you can get to know like the other gang members and whatnot. It's really cool, man. It's done very well.
Oh, I
very
like
stylishly too.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you're a fan,
why don't they remaster it?
Goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Why don't they make a remaster of that? I mean, they do all like. If the audience doesn't know, you love Rockstar games, right?
Yeah.
I don't, and not just a little bit. Just like you're gonna play them over, and that's
some
all
Rockstar games. A couple.
Yeah, they're more or less like good movies, you know. They're timeless movies. All of them.
You become a master at it, though. That's great because now you become really good at it.
Did Rockstar develop the Warriors game? Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah. So it was developed by Rockstar Toronto, their Canadian sister company at the time, and all of like the recording and the writing, I think that was done at Rockstar North in New York, which is like their main headquarters. Because the writing in that game is like, it feels on par with like GTA and all the other works. Like it's really good stuff, man. Really edgy, really vulgar, really in your face about it. It's good. It's fun stuff, man. Fun for the whole family.
Did they bring back the actors from the film to voice the characters?
Yeah, they brought back a few. Yes, they were trying to get into contact with other ones, but I guess they weren't interested. And funny enough, even the guy who played Cyrus, he ended up suing Rockstar and won the case, which was like a first for anyone.
Sued them for what?
Oh, for using his likeness and his like just his likeness without his
permission
agreement. Yeah. Pretty crazy, man. He should have starred in it, man. That dude who played Cyrus, he was a cover for somebody else who was like, there was another dude who was gonna play Cyrus, and then something happened to him, and then the dude who's the final Cyrus in the movie, he was like a stand-in, and he ended up doing really good.
Yeah, in the one scene he's in, he did great.
Very iconic.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? I mean, so many iconic scenes, right? You have the Warriors come out to play, and then
Kelly.
So dramatic. It's like High Noon, because this was supposed to be a cowboy movie.
Yeah,
and you can kind of see it, right?
I see it now. Yeah,
if you dress them up differently.
Yeah.
My favorite description I've heard from this film is that it's Mad Max in New York, which I think is a great kind of signify, because of all the different factions and
the factionalism,
the costumes and stuff, which is really funny because Mad Max came out the same year. I feel like people were just gearing up for this kind of vibe. For some reason, I mean, this film is just set in 90s New York, right? But it feels post-apocalyptic. Am I wrong in saying that?
It feels like metal.
No. It's like black metal, man.
Yeah, because no, it's like Iron Maiden was just popular and Judas Priest and like people who were young in '79 were listening to metal like for the first time. That a lot of generations that was too edgy, and especially in like urban areas. And there was riots when this movie came out in L.A. and Boston because they went to the movie and saw it, and they got so excited by they're like, oh shit, this is the best portrayal of gangs that we could possibly get, you know?
Yeah. Love that movie, man. Hey, but guys, I'm on like 3%, dude. I don't know. Can I join back in?
Like, yeah, absolutely. Sure. Yeah, we'll keep talking about it.
We'll keep cooking.
Ready.
Yeah, when you're ready.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna head on home, throw it on the charger, and then I'll see you guys in like 5:10.
Thank you, Father Guido.
Right, yep. I'll see you guys in a bit. Love you guys. See you in a bit.
I love you too, man.
But what a legend. What I was gonna say is there's a few films that came out before this that I get the same sort of vibe that this movie goes for. And
Jumanji.
I mean no.
Oh, okay.
Not Jumanji. I don't think that even came out before this. I'm pretty sure Jumanji was the 80s, but
Schindler's List.
You're gonna just keep like.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
You're a real Weisenheimer.
I'm done.
And by the way, we don't have any subs. That's how bad this channel is. We have 0 subs, and you can buy a sub right now, but nobody will.
Buy a sub right now if you want to.
I'm not gonna buy my subs for my own channel. That's like paying myself. But I do want a first badge. But is that weird? Maybe we'll save that for the fans.
For later. But what I was gonna say, one of my favorite films of all time, and I think I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on this channel, but one of my favorite films of all time is American Graffiti. And I don't know if you guys have seen George Lucas's American Graffiti.
I saw it. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I don't remember enough of it to tell you whether I like it or not. I probably didn't like it when I was a little kid because I thought it was more Star Wars type shit, and I was like 9. You know, it's like,
not it.
But I'd like to see it again. I'd like to see it again.
Yeah. So it plays like it's not as over the top as this movie is, but it's basically a night on the town in I think California, if I'm not mistaken, because that's where George Lucas grew up.
Bakersfield, Central California.
Yeah. So it's set in California, but it's a night on the town, and it's a bunch of disparate stories about these teenagers getting into mischief throughout the night. And it's kind of like I like that sort of like all in one night setting, all in one night time frame sort of vibe, and capturing a
milieu
essence, capturing the essence of the setting. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what this movie does. And the other film that this reminds me of is
the aesthetic is on point throughout. It never breaks character as far as the whole world building.
Yeah.
Right. You can make a whole RPG on this because it's so like stylized and interesting.
I mean, they did.
They did.
Well, I'm like a tabletop RPG or like a series of games or a whole other offshoot of this universe. It's like an interesting universe, right?
You could so make a game.
I don't think the Rockstar game is Rockstar making an RPG out of the Warriors. I don't think it's an RPG,
isn't it?
You level up on some of that, yeah.
Yeah, but that's action RPG. That's not a fucking RPG.
I mean, it's still RPG.
That's gatekeeping.
No, an ARPG is an ARPG, and an RPG is an RPG, and a JRPG is a JRPG. And if you know anything about video games, and you had 4 affiliated channels, you would know that. But you don't.
RPG snob.
But what I was going to say is
the other film character RPG guy.
The film this reminds me of is West Side Story. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Oh yeah, I love West Side Story.
You banged
to it?
That's.
I've seen the musical.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
You seen the musical?
You little such and such.
But West Side Story, like visually, is one of the most beautiful films you could ever watch. Like just the visuals in that film, the way that movie's lit, all the colors in that film is gorgeous. But
how do you solve a problem like Maria?
That's not West Side Story.
Like Maria. Yeah, it is.
It's not. No,
There's
it's
a song.
not.
Okay, we're gonna look it up right now.
That's Sound of Music.
No, it's not, son.
Yes, it
Hold on.
is.
Let me get on this Google.
Ooh,
How do you solve a
fact
story like
check.
Maria?
No.
How do you
Fact check.
solve
The problem
is Sound of Music? That's
you
when they're in
better
the nunnery.
apologize faster than I can type, and I can type real fast.
Dude, the nuns are
Oh
singing
my
about
God, it
how
is. JC, you win. Why did I think that was from there?
I have
'Cause of
no
the
What's
idea.
the song? Oh no. Okay,
No,
let's
but
keep going.
West Side Story
I
is
do
like
apologize to the chat.
is an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet set in New York, and again, it's a bunch of disparate gangs in New York. Like it must have been a big, like, was that a huge culture back in
The Sharks and the
80s,
Jets,
70s?
of course. Ever since
Yeah.
immigration in the 1800s, you saw gangs of New York. You always have, when you have poverty and concentrations of people are going to grow factions in order to provide more for themselves and their families because it's more efficient, right? So what is a gang? But it's just like poor people trying to survive.
Exactly. And what I love about this film is it makes it mystical. It makes it like it's this underground, like, secret society that
It's a
which
dark
obviously
fantasy.
it's a dark fantasy, absolutely. And I mean, I don't want to say that
Labyrinth.
it romanticizes poverty, but
It's
I think
empowering.
I think it romanticizes the culture rather than the actual hardships. You know what I mean?
It's from their perspective for the first time, and it's not just like these are the gangs over here, and this is what they do. It's from their point of view for the first time, so it's going to be not great. They're not doing great things, but it's still empowering for them.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, Time, watching this for the first time, did you feel like it was? Did you love it? Did you like it? Did you hate it?
Oh, he needs,
Or did you despise it?
Time's
That's
approval.
what I want to hear.
Like I said before, I liked
Shut
it.
him down, Time.
But it wasn't the movie I thought it was, and I think because of that, I couldn't fall in love with it.
What did you think it was?
A social commentary on how poor people suck.
Is that what you wanted?
That's
what you were looking for?
That's what I wanted, yeah. No, I thought it was going to be like you have all these gangs and they're all going to fight, and that's not what it was.
Joker mode.
No,
that's not what it was at all. Which is
No.
that's what I wanted.
Wow, for 2 hours though?
Yeah, but it was basically the Warriors are scared and they're running back to their.
It's a lot of
thing.
peacocking rather than fighting.
Yeah,
I feel like.
I mean,
they didn't have the budget
scenes,
for
the fight scenes, like the one in the bathroom with the roller skates, pretty cool. Like that one.
It wasn't the gunfight with the women.
Yeah, oh yeah! Oh my god!
I was gonna say that was my favorite scene.
That was the direction I thought it was gonna go. Like I pretty much predicted everything that was gonna happen in that scene, but I still loved it. It was great.
Make this with more action.
Great.
What you're saying.
The thing I did not like the most in this movie is the romance.
It wasn't a romance. It was a dirty sexual tension.
That girl.
What was the deal?
I was hoping they threw her on the tracks like right away.
They were gonna make Sigourney Weaver that lady.
I warmed up to her towards the end, but it wasn't enough.
She's a tough cookie. She won their respect, right? She was in the gang by the end. She was part of it by the end. At first, she was a victim that they targeted, and then finally, she earned her part in the platoon.
And that guy, whatever his name is, the one that James Rayner played. He didn't get his comeuppance as much as I wanted him to. He was fucking terrible. He's a terrible person.
In the big city.
That's a good point.
Bad guys win sometimes in Gotham. Joker's here.
There are some scenes. There's a couple of scenes in this movie that don't really hold up to today's.
Because it's a dream. It's a dream.
I know. But it's also the 80s, which clearly had different sort of. But the one specifically I'm talking about is the park bench scene, which I.
Oh yeah.
Have
you seen 48 Hours? The other Walter Hill famous movie. It's Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte. It's a very good movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I know you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm just saying it's so gritty. I think Walter Hill is the master of grittiness, and I think he brought that to Alien 3 too. Please continue, JC.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is like that scene in particular, it didn't feel like it was treated with the kind of serious heaviness that act is meant to be. Like it felt like a kind of.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. and it kind of reminds me of the sort of attitude that films in at that time period, like Revenge of the Nerds or 16 Candles, like that kind of which carried on. Like you still see that kind of you know, adorkable misogyny in like even in films like American Pie, which came out a lot later. But you get what I'm saying, yeah?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, there's some parts in this film that you kind of go, well, they could have
The olden days.
down a little bit.
There was
It was dark back then, JC. It was culturally dark age. It was a cultural dark age, and you couldn't wear. You had to wear like you see the dresses like from Tootsie or like some of the movies from the 80s, like 9 to 5. They're dressed from their neck to their ankles. Like there's no flesh uncovered in like 85. It was like the Taliban in some ways.
There was there was something that I feel like they were kind of teasing it, but maybe it was me projecting what was going to happen, and it didn't happen, and I was disappointed in that. But it was at the beginning when the leader of the Warriors, Cyrus. No, Cyrus got
the
shot.
leader of the Warriors.
Yeah, the one who was assassinated. Yeah. Oh, the leader of the Warriors.
Yeah, where he got
the names right.
He got caught up.
Swan.
Yeah, and they're all running away. They're kind of arguing, like, well, who's going to take over? You know, and it's like, well, War Chief would take over. He's the second in command. That whole thing. And then James Rayner was like, well, why does he get to be whatever? So I kind of felt like they were planting seeds to like he was gonna turn on him, you know, and like sell him out or something. But that never happened, and I was kind of disappointed in that.
Ajax.
Yeah. Ajax. So it felt like they'd cut a plot thread out.
Intercoalition factionalism is what occurs.
Yeah, there is a director's cut of this film, and
I saw that. This is what I saw. I saw the.
Did you watch the director's cut?
I watched the late. It was the best version. The visuals were amazing.
Which version did you watch?
In the Discord, it's like a laser disc copy or something, but it's very good. Somebody in the Discord let me watch it.
Which version did you watch, Tom?
Theatrical.
Theatrical, so yeah. I'd love to get what's added to the director's cut, Prag, and I'm sure Deadman.
There's a bigger fight scene at the beach at the end, I believe, that they add, and then it's just beautiful as far as the restoration, as far as the colors. I mean, they got the colors right. I mean, it just looks like it was filmed yesterday, which is amazing. Yeah. You know, it just looks really pretty.
I would love to watch this film on like a CRT, a large CRT TV with on a VHS. Oh,
an old like, TV, a tube-based television.
That'd be just beautiful. Like,
either way, both ways, right?
I dream of those days when I could have one of those and have a VHS player.
Do you think Escape from New York? What year did Escape from New York come out? Did that come out like in 81 or like a couple years after this? I feel like. 84, 85. Like I feel like there's a lot that they borrow from this movie.
Yeah,
I agree. Style, the opening gang war. You know that they have Kevin or Kirk Douglas. Who's the name of Snake Plissken and
Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell. He encounters the gangs and the factions and stuff. It's interesting.
Yeah, I want to know because this film isn't set in like a retro future, is it? It's set.
No.
It's set in.
I mean, it's like stylized modern. Like if the gangs. Yeah. I feel like this is like what happened. Like one of the gang members went and had a tooth extraction and fell asleep and had a horrible dream, a codeine-induced dream, and this was it.
Yeah.
And then you don't see the part of him waking up later because that's
no, absolutely not. That's the big difference, I think, is Escape from New York is the future. It's 1997, which is, that's the big difference is it's kind of the collapse of society at that point compared to this, which is society. It's just it's the undercurrent of society. It's the underbelly that you don't really see. This movie makes me wish I lived in that world, It makes me wish that I was...
You don't want to live in that world. There's a lot of rape in that world.
I know. but like the whole aesthetic, you know, getting into like all these different costumes, you're part of a family, and
Well,
you
yeah,
stick
they should make a
together. And
bigger game, a bigger open world RPG would be amazing
love
with
that.
all of the city, like a GTA. Like if they could take, you know, the last GTA they set in New York City, what was it, 3? And then like redo the assets and plug in the characters from the Warriors and like
they'd
the
also,
storylines and stuff.
yeah, and make the aesthetic like nail the aesthetic. That'd be
Yeah.
such a quality experience, I feel like. I feel like you get that kind of feeling sort of in the Mafia games. Like it's set in New York, you get that kind of noirish lighting, color palette in the Mafia games.
Have you played the
but
New
yeah,
Orleans
doing it-
one?
no. I've only played the first. The
It's a fun
remake.
game for a while, but it's very repetitive, and then you fall off.
But yeah, I loved this movie. I loved it. The first time I watched it was actually not long ago. It was like 2 months ago. And then I watched it again last night, and I love it. I think it's great. I don't have too much bad to say about it. It's just a lot of fun. I love the way it moves from each location. I love the way the subway looks. Like this, the way the set design of this film is just beautiful. I just don't really have too many bad things to say about it. I think the fact that the film doesn't go silly with it and plays it completely straight, I think is a huge asset.
There's no
to it.
comedy, really.
No, it's like it treats all of it completely serious. Even though visually it's kind of ridiculous, like the way everyone's dressed and differently dressed. And
it's a fever dream.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's based on Anabasis, the Greek 7 novel thing. That's the first thing they give to someone who's learning Greek. It's like an easy reader story for, and that's probably where Walter Hill picked up on it. It's accessible, but it's a classic story of like underdogs organizing against a bigger system, right?
Yeah. And Walter Hill, like obviously his early few films are like well regarded, but he kind of fell off quite a bit throughout his career.
He went into production, right?
No, he kept directing. His last film he directed was in 2022. He directed a movie called Dead for a Dollar, which was not very good, apparently.
Oh, he did Tombstone or no, Deadwood, the HBO show. He did episodes of Deadwood, which was really good.
He did direct one episode of Deadwood.
Okay, one of them. Okay.
But he was an executive producer on it as well, so he ran the show.
He's a writer.
He's
a classicist. You know, you can tell that he put like ancient mythology into Deadwood too. I feel like he seems to like weave that into all the stories he tells. And he says all of the films he ever made were westerns. Is another thing he said.
All of his like non-western films are all westerns. You know, I kind of get what you're saying. Yeah. He directed the
Getaway.
The Stallone comeback action film called Bullet to the Head, and I always thought that title was hilarious when I was
Warriors.
And he's back.
Welcome back.
Warriors. Now this is a different scene from the movie.
What I missed? Sorry about that.
Y'all. I mean, what do we talked about? What did we talk about? We talked about Walter Hill a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about the films that it kind of reminded me of, like American Graffiti and.
I don't get American Graffiti
at all. I mean,
it's too edgy. I mean, American Graffiti is so wholesome and bright and shiny and optimistic, and this is cynical and dark.
But the kind of like it's all set over one night. It's kind of trying to really convey the aesthetic of like this time period, like of New York and California,
like The Hangover.
Yeah.
Is The Hangover a remake of The Warriors?
I think so.
Come on, they're trying to stay together and get back to safety, and it's in one. I understand what you're saying.
This is terrorist.
Have you ever seen Steve McQueen in The Getaway, though? Have you seen his movie The Getaway?
I have not.
How about you, Deadmanpayne? Have you seen The Getaway with Steve McQueen? Okay. Oh, you're a little bad. You're a little low in the mix, Deadman.
Oh,
Your
for real?
mic. There it goes. That's
That
better.
better?
That's better.
Yeah, my bad.
That's
Yeah,
much better. Yeah.
my mic is kind of shitty, dude. Like on this phone,
It's
but
all good. What about Red Heat with Dolph Lundgren and Sylvester Stallone? Do you guys know about Red Heat? He made that. It's Jim Belushi and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they go to the Moscow to solve a murder, and it's a comedy. He directed that, which is a banger. You guys don't know nothing about it. You don't know about Southern Comfort, which is another Walter Hill with Keith Carradine and Powers Booth and Peter Coyote. And it's about an Army National Squad unit who gets lost in the bayou, and there's some locals who want to like gas them, and they have to like fight for their right to party. It's just like the Warriors, except set in the bayou with the National Guard.
He likes those type of stories, man.
He says it's all westerns.
They're easy to resonate with, you know, like it's just you and your homies just trying to get home, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to relate to, especially on a bad night. I know what that's like.
But then 48 Hours is a little diffy. Have you seen 48 Hours? With Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, I've seen it like twice in my life, but yeah, I've seen most of it to where like I can, you know, quote it here and there. That's a good ass movie, man.
It is because it has like change. It like you think the plot's going one way and then it kind of flips.
Yeah, and he has some reoccurring actors in that one too. James Remar and David Patrick Kelly as well. They were both in the Warriors, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Very cool.
Nick Nolte is always great.
Yeah, dude. Nick Nolte as a slightly racist dude was a fucking dude.
Crunchy. I mean, he's a character, man, and Eddie Murphy was a character in that too.
Sucks they don't write him like that anymore, though. You know.
No fucking way. They couldn't make that movie right now. I think that was Eddie Murphy's big breakout movie too.
Yeah.
I think that was the first one he really went off on, or was it Beverly Hills Cop?
I feel like it was that one though.
Yeah,
I think so.
48 Hours.
One or the other.
So when was the first time that you saw the Warriors, Deadman?
I've seen it. So I played the game first when I was younger, and then my sister's boyfriend at the time told me this was based off of a movie, and I was like, no fucking way. That year,
you're a liar.
I was like, I remember when he saw the commercial to it and how he reacted and everything, and I was like, wait a minute, like it was Rockstar, you know, I've always loved Rockstar, and I seen the logo, I was like, wait, what is this? I've never heard of this IP before ever in my life. He says, yeah, it's based off of a movie. We rent the game, and then I rent the movie some other time later that year, and like I was probably like maybe like 10, 11 when I first seen it and played the game, and man, it was magic, dude. Like it followed the game perfectly. Like the end of the game is pretty much the whole movie. So like playing, like I remember beating the game and then watching the movie and just being like stunned, like wow, like they really did their absolute best to like capture the whole movie. Like it's well done, man. It's very dated graphics wise, but like all games
it fits though. It should be a retro style game though, right? Because that's the vibe. I was telling the boys that I thought it was like a fever dream. Like one of the gang members had a tooth extracted and they fell asleep with a bunch of Novocaine or Vicodin in them. And this is the dream they had. And they don't show them waking up, you know, because everyone's like, you know, it's like, it's about gang stuff, but like, it's so stylized. It feels like a dream.
Yeah. It has that dreamy-esque fucking vibe to it too. You watch the introduction of the movie and it's like you're in a trance. Yeah. You're in like a dream-like trance with the little wonder wheel going and the music. It's so special, man. It's very special. Very great movie.
I want to put some gameplay footage up. Just to
play some. I was gonna say, why can't we could play the trailer without the audio, right?
Yeah, you can play the movie trailer.
Yeah, people have to see what we're talking about.
Yeah, and the video game.
JC. Show everything. Show the people everything. They need to see this. They don't know what we're talking about.
I went to the mall to buy a PS4 controller just so I can keep streaming it tonight. Like my PS4 controller died, and I was like, nah.
Oh, wait a minute! You're having a special stream tonight of the Warrior game?
Yeah, I was doing it last night.
Deadmanpayne, we're gonna shout you out again in the thing, and you're simulcasting the show. I see too. Thank you, bro.
Look at that shit, man. That game is so beautiful, dude.
We'll send you the VOD
engine too. The same engine that's that powers Sandra, all their games, you know, from the time, from Manhunt to Bully.
Manhunt is your game, though, right?
Yeah, that's another thing that I feel like I should touch on about the Warriors was very influential on that game, Manhunt. Like how it's set in one night, colorful gangs attacking you. It's very cool, man. Another one of those topics of discussions we should.
You can't get purple jeans at the mall anymore. See, I couldn't put this look together if I wanted because I can't get purple Levi's at the mall. You have to special order them.
They're dark red.
That's red.
Yeah,
okay.
I genuinely didn't realize that this is what the game was like. I was expecting like a sort of.
So it doesn't look like this. Just let you know, it doesn't look like this.
What do you mean?
This is like this is PC upscale. This doesn't look like this.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, don't play or hate.
It's a little jaggier, but it still holds up. Like when I messed around with it, it still holds up a lot.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. And but I didn't realize this is what the game was like. I expected it to be like a side scroller or something.
Oh no,
Roundhouse? Dead. That's like what's that?
Oh, isn't there a
Hong Kong
a rumble mode or something where you can fight your friends? Yeah,
sleeping dogs.
This game is very like inspired by old school traditional beat 'em ups, and
they
even threw in like a side scrolling mini game that's very much in spirit of like Double Dragon and whatnot. So and the movie itself feels like a fucking beat 'em up too, you know, like how you guys were touching on that before I left earlier. Like it's very influential in that way too. Like they got the weapons, they got sub bosses, they got, you know,
mini bosses for sure.
Yeah. I mean, this is Cyrus.
That's the boy Cyrus.
Oh, look at the costume design. It's just
that's another thing. It was designed by some chick, man, and she's a fucking legend, dude. She
should have won an Oscar for this shit. She did, honestly, I bet.
Yeah, honestly.
She would nowadays, though.
She killed it, man. This movie was so influential too. Like John Wick, the new John Wick was heavily influenced by this shit too. Apparently,
absolutely.
I was gonna not apparently. Like they have a lady who announces the bounty on John Wick's head, and it's like a direct copy of the Warriors. Like
so beautiful.
And I love the way they do it in that movie, and I love the way they do it in this movie. The way that they announce the needle drops in this film, it's beautiful. You wouldn't get away with it these days. Like,
there was a show I used to watch when I was a kid. Every day I come home and I watch it, and it was called "Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?"
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Yeah,
where was she?
She was in various places. You had to find her, and it was teenage kids, and it was like a game show. And there was one person that was directing you to or there's a couple people actually, but one of the people that was directing you to find her was a lady, and her name was the chief. She was the chief of whatever I think it was like the Acme Corporation. It was something like that. But the chief is the girl that was doing the voiceover for the radio.
Oh
station.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
Mary Ellen Winston.
What are some of your other favorite films, Deadmanpayne, while we have you here?
Y'all mentioned Mean Streets earlier, man, with Harvey Keitel and Bobby De Niro by Scorsese. That's a timeless one, man. I love that one. That story right there is another like fucking like what do we do type shit, like all in one night. Like it's chaotic, a little frenetic, you know.
I remember telling you when we reviewed Heat too, and you were just saying how much you enjoy Heat.
Yeah, that's another good one, man. Typical of me, but yeah, I like Al Pacino, man. Scarface was my movie when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed him in that, and just his other roles. Carlito's Way is a little generic. I mean, look, man, I love Al Pacino, but like I get it. He's a little like.
No, he's great.
A little eccentric. But,
Son of a Woman Pacino is the best though. When he's blind and he's sniffing around everybody. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can smell pussy on this plane. Ha.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's what he says, Time. I swear to God, that's what he says. Am I wrong, Kevin? I'm not wrong.
Nah, man. The Dorsey Wright. You see this dude on screen right here, Dorsey Wright? He came back to reprise his role in the video game, and not only that, he makes a special guest appearance in GTA 5 as a paramedic. So if you ever like get the paramedics to come by. Listen closely. You'll hear Dorsey right in there.
That's awesome.
Little knowledge drop.
And to answer your question, the costume design in this film was done by two people, Bobby Mannix and Mary Ellen Winston, who was uncredited.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so
Crazy.
Mary Ellen Winston went on to do the costume design in The King of Comedy.
Nice.
And a bunch
Another
of others,
Scorsese.
Yeah, that's a good ass movie.
and the other guy, Bobby Mannix, went on to do the Texas Chainsaw remake.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and Xanadu.
Shout out Olivia Newton-John and Xanadu. You guys have not seen Xanadu, but it's a roller skating musical set in a fantasy world. You have to see it.
Is it good?
It's no, I mean it's now it is because it's like old, but when it came out it wasn't good. But now it is because it's like crazy. It's literally insane. You have to see Xanadu. It's nuts.
I've heard of this movie.
You've heard of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. 81. It's like when this is HBO in the afternoon would play like Excalibur for 3 hours and then they would put Xanadu on and call it a day.
I've heard Excalibur is a banger. I haven't seen
it. Is.
But,
those movies,
like
especially since they up-res them now, they look better.
Yeah. But
I forgot.
I've seen shots from it.
I like that intro. The way they did that intro was really cool because they would pretty much have like a little mini intro of like the warrior character, and then it would cut to the trains or the new gangs the gangs going to the meetings. You saw like all these gangs that you're never gonna see later in the movie.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
World building,
but there were so many of them. It was
that's
like
world building, baby.
Yeah, the game touches further on the lore of the side gangs. You see in the introduction, man, and the way they're introduced to is so stylish. They get like a freeze frame, and you see like and their tag. It's so clean, man. The game does it justice. That whole universe justice.
They have to make a new version, make it a sequel. They would print money if they made a great open world. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are they? Do they not think?
It's
people would crawl over glass for that nowadays.
Universal and Rockstar, they gotta come together. It's like a licensing thing.
Would you play an open world online Warriors game built by Rockstar Payne?
Yeah, I would make my
hell fucking yeah.
Online,
just like GTA 5, but except Warriors.
Not online.
Yeah, I want
both.
a story-based one.
There's gonna be a story mode and there's gonna be an online. You know how they do it.
They did make a great Mad Max game, so seeing a great Warriors game like
Mad Max. That's
like,
another one that needs a sequel. Where's the Furiosa game?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I love how in Furiosa they have that whole war in the fucking Badlands. There's like whole armies and shit. It's so good. I love that.
We need to talk about Furiosa at some point because that was a banger movie.
I love to talk about it.
Really enjoyed it.
I've only ever seen Mad Max. The one before that.
What are you talking about? You haven't seen the Road Warrior?
I've seen Road Warrior like maybe once when I was a kid.
Okay, you have to see it. You have to see it soon.
If you love the Warriors, you should watch Road Warrior.
Watch the Road Warrior. It is so fucking sick. Don't worry about the other ones for now. Just worry about the Road Warrior.
Okay.
Road Warrior is the second one, yeah.
And then I like the reboot better than like Terror Dome and all that other shit. Watch that one. The new ones are sick. The new ones are amazing. You'd love them, I think.
I mean, George Miller just always cooks.
George Miller's a fucking beast.
Yeah,
I don't like the one with Tina Turner as much. That one's fucking
Thunderdome.
It's too. They're trying to do too much. It's not angry. It's not an angry.
Anime.
It's not like Mad Max. It's like Baby Max and his kids and shit.
It's like Fist of the North Star, the anime.
Yeah, it's like Fist of the North Star, the anime.
Just gets bizarre.
And the movie.
That's another banger game. People tell me Fist of the North Star.
That's a good anime. There's a live action movie that was horrible, but it's like mad type shit.
Your mic.
Yeah, my bad.
Your mic.
It's
There it is.
bad.
There
we go.
Speak to the mic. There it is.
My bad, y'all.
We're gonna get you a new mic and we're gonna get you a better camera.
Dude, it's this phone, bro. I installed this app on the phone, so it's all fucking. My phone is.
This is better for the show. It's seriously more interesting for the viewer. I love it, man.
I'm telling you, man. I got you. I was gonna go in the alleyway with the fucking graffiti, but whatever.
No. Oh, good.
Are you gonna come on any of the other shows that we do around here too? I want to have you as a guest more.
Yeah, man.
Shows.
I gotta really watch the movies you recommend though. Like I gotta soak
I'll
them
have you
in.
on Ghost Monsters Live or something. You'll have you do a bit.
All right.
He's talking about his other shows, not on
Grandmas.
It's a universe of shows.
What?
Well, Time Goes to Waste has a channel too. He might have you use you.
Because Pragpro is a big shot now. He's got
have 4 affiliates. Deadmanpayne.
I want everyone in the.
Always
you have 1, 2, 3, 4 affiliated channels now.
I want Granny and I want Time Goes there. All right.
You know anything about being a fucking dynasty?
If I have the time, I'll show up. If I have the time.
Very busy, man.
I'm just
very busy.
For what, Jason? You're never in anything we do. What are you talking about? I stopped looking for you months ago. I'm not expecting you to be at my performances.
I've given you my.
Nobody works that much, Jason. You're a swim teacher. Come on, you can't listen to the VOD on the fucking phone on your way home. On the radio, I know how Discord and Twitch work, bro. You can stream this shit anywhere.
He wants you on and in the show.
You to be as big a fan of me as I am of you, because otherwise I can't trust you. They think you're trying to plot against me.
I want to work with you on scripts in the future.
Well, then show me you love me by attending some of my program.
I love when we fight around the guests. That's my favorite part.
Kevin's
about we fight in the war
family
video game.
Let me tell you about Deadmanpayne.
Bring it back.
4-player.
How do we meet Deadmanpayne?
Bro? It's 2 players. It's 2 players. Split screen.
Lance from Kane raided Deadmanpayne in the middle of the night, and he was playing. What were you playing? Max Payne?
I was playing Max Payne 2 on shrooms. I was tripping on shrooms.
He would not respond to any. But he was still playing. It was playing really well too.
I'm telling you, that was the funniest
channel.
That was the funniest raid in my life. I was tripping on shrooms. I got raided by 300 people by Lance, and the chat, dude, like the chat was broken on Twitch app at the time. I was using my phone. I was like, "This isn't fucking real. There's people.
I'm being hacked." No,
yeah, because I stayed for 4 hours and trolled you.
Yeah, dude, it was hilarious, man. And like, I had a pretty good moment there.
I want to hear your Michael Madsen impression later too.
I want to hear it now.
You're gonna try to shove a firecracker up your ass, but don't take no crap. That's GTA 3 Michael Madsen.
He's the best Michael Madsen out here on Twitch.
W.
If you're in his chat, ask him to do Michael Madsen. He'll do it for 100 people.
If I could get any actor in one of my movies, it'd be Michael Madsen. Like,
shit!
Yeah.
We can
like
cast.
Cage, but
how about we cast Kevin in the bioepic about his life?
Michael Madsen.
The Michael Madsen story.
I look more like Nicolas Cage, but he
doesn't matter. We'll put you in prosthetics. We'll put you in some makeup. You do the voice better. It's all about a style. It's a vibe.
It's just gonna be him sitting on the couch until Tarantino knocks on his door and says, "Come in my movie."
JC.
Yeah,
he could just make that margarita, like when he makes that margarita in Kill Bill Volume 1 or 2, and with the rocks, and then she jumps out of him. That's the best scene of all time, man. It's so cool how I don't even like margaritas, but I want to fucking taste that margarita. It looks so good the way he's making it, and he's chilling.
Trailer life look luxurious, right? For sure.
The ostrich boots and the fucking Cadillac in front of the trailer out in the middle of nowhere in the rock quarry because you're on the fucking run.
He talks so fucking slow, but you're hanging on every word. You're like,
dude, he's gonna say.
And
how about what he does to Meg Tilly in or the one with Meg Tilly, The Getaway? Is that the one, Meg Tilly? And he's like simping the veterinarian husband in front of his wife for like 2 hours in the movie. That movie's crazy psychological, dog. It's crazy.
And we talked about the Hateful Eight already on this channel, but he is my favorite cowboy of all time. Like he's so good in that movie.
All the cowboys, he's your favorite.
Oh yeah, we did review the Hateful Eight.
Yeah, I love him.
That was a good movie, man. I love that movie. Timeless. Yeah. It went back to its roots, like Reservoir Dogs. It was set in one setting,
location. Yeah,
all
in one night, like the Warriors. I'm too good at this.
He got a warehouse for that movie, The Hateful Eight, and did the whole movie, blocked it all out in like one room, just like they did it, and like rehearsed it like multiple times, so like. He didn't have to break the shot, and like everyone, it was like a play. They could just like do it.
He almost
Sleep.
didn't make it because the script leaked before he.
Oh, that's right.
I love Walton Goggins in that movie. The more I see Walton Goggins, he's fucking goated. Walton Goggins needs to get bigger movies because he's so good. Like, have you seen Fallout, Deadmanpayne? We reviewed that too.
Fallout? Nuh-uh.
Check it out. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's
really good.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
Surprisingly good.
I wasn't in that review. But,
we didn't invite JC for that one.
It was a W series.
He was swimming.
I was just looking up what's the main dude Michael Beck been in besides the Warriors, and he was in Xanadu as well. As
Michael Beck.
Yeah.
Swan. Yeah.
But the other stuff that he's been in, I'm looking it up. Apparently, he was in Babylon 5 for one episode. He hasn't done a lot since the Warriors, which is interesting. Like who had the biggest career after the Warriors?
I feel like David Patrick Kelly and James Remar out of them. Like James Remar and both those two that I mentioned were reoccurring actors in more Walter Hill movies. And then David Patrick Kelly was very memorable in Commando. Remember when Schwarzenegger drops him off of the cliff? He's like, "Remember when I was going to kill you last? I lied." And he just drops his ass.
Yeah.
That was David Patrick Kelly.
Nobody respected this movie till the 90s too, JC. Like this movie was not regarded at all until like the 90s. It had like a revival.
Which is so sad. Like this movie is incredible. Yeah.
It was the time.
The Reagan era.
James Remar has
I don't like gangs then.
Has been in a lot. Like he's been in basically every Tarantino film. He was in Django Unchained. He was in
he was
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He was in Oppenheimer, which I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
he's doing all right for him.
James Remar. He's one of my favorite actors for sure.
That's that. What's up? Rate it? Oh, go ahead. Please continue.
Oh, my bad. No, I keep cutting you off.
No, go ahead, man.
Go ahead. It's you.
No, you have more to say. That's perfect.
James Remar, man, he's fantastic. I loved him as Ajax, dude. He's so fucking he's such a problem. Yeah. But goddamn, that's the type of guy you want in your corner, though, when you're in a fight. You know what I'm saying? If you're in any scrap,
that's a good leader.
Yeah, no,
it's like a sergeant in a platoon.
He would be the worst leader because he would fall for pussy every time. No, he'd be the worst.
Yeah, but they're still in a gang and they're having fun too. They still want to enjoy themselves, even though they're in a fight for their lives. They still have to do gang type shit.
Get some action, you know what I'm saying?
I was looking at
nail some wool. That's what they called it back in the day. Nailing some wool.
We should remake this movie with Nardo Wick and 21 Savage and set it in London or something. We have some ideas.
There's a pretty sick fan movie prequel thing that they were trying to do they were connecting it with the movie and the game. It's just like a student film. It's on YouTube. You should check it out. Warriors prequel or something.
We have to put it on the Discord.
Yeah, it's really sick, man. Really cool. My bad.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was just looking at James Remar's credits. He was also rated in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
In the second one, yeah.
In the second one, the really bad one.
Exactly. Poor bastard.
There is no bad one. What are you talking about? There's no bad one.
Have you seen Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Yeah, they're all great.
Remember that part when they were in the fucking ball and they had to travel in it?
It's mine.
I love it. I love those fucking movies.
And you will die.
Yeah, they're fucking crazy. You're crazy as a fucking bedbug.
Oh man,
it's like guilty pleasure movies, like the Resident Evil ones.
Yeah,
I love those Resident Evil cartoons. Those things are fly. Not the live action are okay, but I don't know. They're so campy.
Live action are awesome.
I don't know. Some cool graphics and shit, bro.
So Pragpro. Would you recommend The Warriors? And
no.
What would you rate it?
Ooh, hard no.
I give it a 1, and I would say Barry. No, I love The Warriors, of course. Yeah, I think I would recommend it to. I wouldn't recommend it to Grandma, but I would recommend it to.
You wouldn't recommend
most
it to
people.
Me?
Wow.
No, not. Yeah, I love this movie. I gave it like an 84 out of 100 or something, which is good for me.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't say it's perfect. It's its own thing. It's original, and I like original ass shit. That's no one's trying to. He's trying to make a Western, but you would not know that unless you looked it up, which is cool. Yeah.
And you look at the shot composition and the framing and the way it's shot, and you're like,
it's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Western, yeah.
I was set at night too. It's the atmosphere is heavy. During the raining segment where it's playing Nowhere to Run to, Nowhere to Hide, like, oh my god, man.
It shows you how bullshit film critics are, because when the movie came out, they all were political about it and panned it, even though now they're like, oh, it's the greatest movie of all time. It's obviously a great movie. It's just like, like
on first watch. Like, yeah. Well, would you recommend The Warrior's Time? What would you rate it?
Before I rate it, I just wanted to. The scene popped in my head that I like a lot. I wanted to remember and tell you guys is when they're going to the I think it was the first train station or whatever, the first train, whatever, and they have those guys driving by in that big old bus.
Turnbuckles.
Like, they're looking for him, and then they pass him, and they're like kind of hiding in the shadows. And then they're like, all right, let's go. And they fucking take off. And there's not enough time at all. And they're like, let's fucking go. And they take off. And just that whole scene is so tense. Because then you have that shot of them like running towards the camera. And then the bus is coming at them. And it's like, they're all just running so goddamn fast.
It's fantastic. Oh my God.
And then Ajax turns around and is like this or something.
Flips them off.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Slow it down. Like that whole scene was so good.
Those little moments right there, like, really help you relate with the character.
And you weren't here when we were talking about the gunfight with the ladies in the apartment. That was such a great scene too.
Lizzies were a very underrated gang, man. They could hang with the dudes, dude. Badass.
They had shooters though. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I was like, how are they gonna get to this? Oh, they're gonna punch their way out of it. Okay.
Yeah, they crawl. The chicks crawl. The chicks are packed, bro.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend this movie. I liked it a lot. There's some stuff that I didn't care for, but I think that was my own expectations. But yeah, I like it. I rated a 74.
That's nice. Good. Deadmanpayne. I think we all know
what.
I think we all know the answer, but would you recommend The Warriors?
Say no. Say no.
The world. Shock the world.
No and give it a 30.
I recommend
Smack it and set it back on the street to work.
I recommend a game.
Damn.
Chilling for Rockstar? No, man. I recommend the movie 110. And it's not for everyone. It's especially nowadays. There's some very vulgar words that are really going to offend some people. But if you can look past that, man, and just accept it for what it is, a product of its time, man, it's timeless. It's a timeless story. 110.
I agree. Yeah. I would recommend The Warriors as well. I think it's just a beautiful film, and kind of echoed what was going to come in the 80s in
foreshadowing,
because it does not feel like a 70s film. It feels like distinctly an 80s film, even though it's made in 79. It feels like a real precursor to what was to come in cinema, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. I love the way it's shot. I love the way it's acted. I think it's all just so good. I'll probably give it an 85, I reckon.
I've had the game loaded up on my Steam Deck for forever, and I keep wanting to play it. I just never do. But I'm gonna play it.
You gotta stream it.
Is it available on console?
Stream it.
No.
What a shame.
You can only get
PS2, I think. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Capture card.
And PS4. If you have a PlayStation 4, that's how I stream.
Oh, the classics? Oh, yeah.
Oh, you can get it in the classics catalog?
You can play it on PS5 then, right? Can you stream it?
Yeah.
On PS5?
But the PS5 version I hear has issues like with emulation. So it's best in PS4.
They fuck you in the drive-thru.
Yeah, fuck that.
Or if you emulate it on PC, you can do that too.
I just don't PC.
I'm calling Rockstar out. I'm going to turn you in because I don't want to be banned from playing GTA 6. Are you excited for GTA 6, man, Payne? Or what do you think about that?
Man,
what do you think his answer is going to be?
Because he might be afraid they're going to make it. I'm worried it's not going to work. Like they're going to drop Cyberpunk on us, and it's not going to fucking work. That's what I'm. They're trying to make shit that they've never made before.
Has Rockstar ever done that?
Nah,
yeah, with fucking Red Dead Online.
Nobody cares about that.
Yeah. And then the remaster of GTA. Remember when they did the remasters?
That's true.
I mean, they fuck you all the time.
Apparently, the update is
good.
good.
Apparently, they look good right now.
I want to see table tennis remastered. It's not new table tennis, bro.
The Rockstar Tennis.
Yeah, Rockstar Table Tennis is the best one.
Beaterator. Let's make beats.
I'll cook you in
Make some
fucking table
beats.
tennis, Rockstar Table Tennis, Deadmanpayne. I swear to God, I'm God.
Believe you.
Oh, God.
I want a Bully top to bottom
Type shit.
remake. That's what I want to see.
Bully
Like,
2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bully
Bully
2,
2,
3, 4.
yeah.
We should be on Bully 6 right now. I mean, what are they doing? It's like, get some. What are we doing, Rockstar?
But yeah.
Online for 11 years, man. GTA Online for 11 years. That's
I'm
what's
so
crazy.
afraid GTA 6 not going to work.
It's gonna
Did
be
you
Well,
see
GTA
those
5
crowds
is
in the
it's
trailer?
so
There's
amazing.
no way.
It's gonna be
Are they
fun.
gonna do
GTA 5 is an
I think it's gonna look
impossible
as good
dream.
as
They
that,
built
but-
something that could last and they could build onto it. It's so strong. That engine is so strong. It works. All those fucking systems work. It's amazing. I don't know if they can like do it again. I'm scared for them. I hope they do. It would be amazing.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, well, I think they can. But it won't be
It's
as-
gonna
No,
work
because there's so many NPCs that's going to cause fucking.
I'm telling you, it's gonna work, but it's only gonna be next gen. That's it, or current gen, I guess you would say.
Oh yeah, no PS6. They're going to have to wait for because I don't think they can cook it like now.
Let's come out next year.
I
It'll be
think
fine.
they could cook it now.
Yeah,
I think
it'll
they
be
scared.
can.
Yeah,
Just
I hope
takes
so.
a lot of optimizing.
yeah,
Takes a lot of good
it'll be
optimizing.
fine. Be fine.
It's all those NPCs. That's what gets you.
So what are we?
It's the big
watching
booty
next week?
physics.
The jiggle
The
physics.
twerk
right.
physics.
Yeah,
I mean,
They've
there's
been
some
working
shit
on these twerk physics for like the last 10 years, man.
that's
They
like
better
90%
be
of the
some
game.
photorealistic density, dense photorealistic cities are crazy complicated.
What should be less cooked than actual Florida? What should
I
be
know,
less
right?
cooked than actual Florida?
There's nothing more.
They played it
cooked
safe.
than Florida.
There's
Modern day
two
Florida's gonna be
alligators in
great.
it.
If
That's
they
it.
pull it off, it's going to be the greatest game of all time
They're gonna
because it's
pull it
going to be
off.
so bigger. It's
They're gonna
going to
pull it
be
off.
big as
Watch.
fuck, man.
Watch.
Are you
It won't
excited
be-
for this, Deadmanpayne? Are you
Look,
going to stream that day one? Are you going to like
Yes. Look,
yes.
listen.
Rockstar? Send Deadmanpayne a code. What are we talking about? You should be getting a code.
Look, listen. Man,
Get a free copy.
it won't be as edgy as like the earlier shit, but it'll still be good. I know it. Dude,
Oh,
those
there'll be some
devs,
shit.
I'm sure it will.
they cook, man. They cook every time. They
Watch.
can't just
They're gonna pull it off. This is my prediction. They're gonna pull it
I
off,
hope so.
but the game's gonna be delayed 6 months, and we're gonna
Good.
find out it's delayed because of the online mode. That's what we're gonna find out.
Oh my
Fuck
god.
the online.
I
mode.
can't do
Release a
online,
single
too.
player campaign.
It's like it's
I
not
want
ready yet.
single
We
player. Yeah,
need it. We
I've
need
had
it.
11 years of online, man. I'm
Just done with online.
Just release single player and then online later. I don't know why they can't do that.
That's the
Yeah.
money because it's
Well, I know that,
microtransactions,
yeah.
my G.
That's what they always do. It's usually like a month
It's
later.
fucking
Yeah.
shark bucks, dog. You know what
Big
this is.
shark
What do
bucks.
we?
Giddy up.
So next week we got SV on. What are we
Yes.
watching? That's what I want to know.
Is she going to be still streaming next week? She's been streaming
That's
for
what
2
I'm
weeks straight.
also wondering.
Well, I don't
Has
fucking
she-
know either. I'm not her agent.
she-
I'm going to talk
Has
to her
she
about
given
it.
us a
because she-
movie?
No.
No, she's in a fucking fugue state. She's been streaming Deadmanpayne for 2 fucking weeks straight.
Damn.
Live, sleeping on the fucking camera.
Damn.
She's
me, dog.
insane.
I was
Could be
gonna.
me.
I don't know, JC. Maybe you should
Is she gonna
contact
be
her.
on
Maybe
the
she
show?
doesn't listen to me, JC. She's a
All
she
right.
doesn't. So maybe she's afraid of you. Maybe so. Maybe scare her a little bit. That's what I had
Is
to
she
do with
afraid of
Kevin.
me? All right.
I had to scare him a little bit.
I'll
I said,
work
"Listen,
my-
if you don't come
I'll
on
work
this
on
show,
that
I'm going to end your Twitch career. You're going to end the channel. There's no more Deadmanpayne. You better be here." And it worked.
Damn. Why are you dragging me into this? I'm just trying to talk about the Warriors, man. What the fuck? Trying to talk about the Warriors. I got
this is
some
a gang
fucking
and you're
wiener
in it.
schnitzel waiting for me,
No.
man.
Ooh, Wiener
I'm
Schnitzel?
gonna.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
shit, Wiener Schnitzel.
Hell
I had a
yeah,
Wiener
dog.
Schnitzel at the end of my block growing
Yeah.
up, bro.
Hell
I
yeah.
know all
Dude,
about fucking Wiener
They just
Schnitzel.
reopened mine at the end of my block. Thank fuck, man. Thank
Oh,
fuck.
yeah.
They got a Hawaiian
Trump,
burger
Give him
still.
a clap.
Trump,
Give
you
him
better-
a clap.
You better make them affordable again.
Oh, let's nationalize fucking
Bring those
Wiener
wieners down.
Schnitzel.
Bring
That
those
sounds like
wieners
something
down.
they might come up with. Matt Gates might roll in and say, "Let's nationalize Wiener Schnitzel.
Let's
Give it
not-
2 for
let's
1
not
chili
bring
Might
on
dog.
as well.
that guy.
Might as
Bring
well.
that shit
well.
back, bro.
99-cent
Do
French
that.
fries.
We're
Biggie
suffering,
fry.
man.
Thank
All
you
right,
for
JC,
coming on
send
the
us home.
podcast today, Payne. Thank you so much.
Hey, man,
for coming
Payne,
on
I'm
the
gonna have you on
podcast.
more shows too.
I'm
not done with
so
you.
glad we talked about this movie today. It's such a
Oh,
Oh
banger.
shit! What happened to my
Sorry
cam?
for the last time, man. I had life to deal with.
It's all good,
I
brother. And we can always
understand.
schedule you for a different wacky time. Like we do these TV show reviews in like the middle of the day. We do some in the mornings. Like we can find a time that works for you. Just tell me when you're available, and I'll fit you in like that. And
You
we'll,
need to
know,
get a
we'll cook up.
setup.
We have
Payne.
to
You need to get like
a
setup.
$40 camera and a $40 microphone, and you'll be done. You'll be cooking Twitch so bad, you'll be fucking multimillionaire. You'll be Jake
We'll
Paul
see.
in 3 years, bro. With
Fuck
that mustache.
I don't want to bring down legends before their time. Fuck that. What an asshole.
No,
Fuck
it's
that, dude.
only synergy. It's not bringing anything down. It's only multiplication over here.
Don't cancel the raid. Don't cancel the raid.
No, it's fine. You guys
Who
were
are we gonna raid? Did we get any fucking subs? Nobody subs to our channel, right?
No.
Why do we even bother to become affiliate?
All right, guys. Bye.
See
you later. Thank you for coming.
Wait, you can't leave Deadmanpayne. We have to make sure we upload your shit too, right?
Oh wait. What? Bye.
Is it ended? Is it, no.
No.
He's gone. Does he know?
I told him. You heard me say it, right? I said you can't leave. So that's what happens. I guess we just. So what happens now?
He's meant to be ending the stream. But...
So we're still live because, of course, we are.
But it's also.
I'm watching on my iPad.
Did you end on this end?
Oh no, I didn't do that either.
That's what you should do. There we go.
Just stop. But then it doesn't end right away.
There we go.
I have no idea what's happening right now. It says I'm at 0% uploading. Did you see that?
No, I don't see that on my end. What does Deadmanpayne say?
He's done.
About what?
He's fine.
His is done. Oh, good.
He's done, yeah.
Oh,
sick.
lucky. Mine's uploading. It's at 30.
I just told SV she's on next week. She said, "Oh my god."
Did she forget?
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna tell her to pick a movie.
The thing on the bottom left where it says recordings. If you click on it, what does it say? Mine's at.
I don't see it on. I only see mine.
I like that show. That was fun. I liked having. I'm glad he showed up, man. Because I know he loves this shit, and it's something fun for him to do. That's not just streaming fucking Rockstar games. You know?
Yeah.
Still alive.
Still
alive.
So I got nothing crazy bad to say. My upload's complete. I can leave anytime if you want me to leave.
Mine says 0% and 24 hours left. I don't know what's happening.
Did you know I had to uninstall NVIDIA Broadcast and reinstall? You were there.
I told you
to fix that camera issue, but it's like, what the fuck?
Maybe try refresh time. Try refresh. Who's playing zombies? Is that SV?
That's SV's. She's like rambling to her. She's barely conscious right now. I think her kidneys are failing.
It's not good for her.
How's
it going, Tony? What's it look like on your end?
It just says, well, that little thing isn't there anymore. Now it says
we don't have any friends or families that could sub to this channel.
0%. This is crazy.
Who's punishing us this week?